What's up, guys? This
Yo,
episode, we're going to be
yo.
talking about Agartha.
Woo! I
Agartha and the like general hollow earth theory.
yeah. I have to be honest with you. I first thing I did when I Googled this, um the first article that came up was from The Atlantic and it said why it started off with why Gen Z is obsessed with a Heydrich Himmler theory from the 1930s. So I guess Hollow Earth, well, I'll talk about it in my part,
it,
but there's a lot
it
of occultism with Hollow Earth theory.
it's basically just Agartha and hollow earth is just a encapsulation of like a shit ton of mythological nonsense
Yeah.
into like one like theory that has blown up like recently for no reason like whatsoever.
I know,
And
I see
anyone
it all
who's
over
not
the internet now.
I, so for I guess I feel like Gen Z, most anyone who's listening to this might have heard of it. At least if you spend a lot of time on like Instagram or TikTok and you're like brain rotted. If you're older than Gen Z, Gartha's like this. It's like essentially the inside of the Earth. People think that there is basically habitable, like beautiful land there, and there's these blonde like super Chad like Aryan race like Nazi like
Yeah.
people that live there, and these people were created by Yakub, who was a Nation of Islam scientist from like 1,000 years ago or something like that. And Nation of Islam is not Islam; they're different. It's like it's a Nation of Islam is like a cult that spawned off in like the I think the 20s. And it has to do with like black like nationalism. Malcolm X was apparently, I might get killed for this, but Malcolm X was apparently a Nation of Islam follower.
Yeah, you're getting into you're getting into murky waters within 1 minute of the episode.
Well, I that's what showed up on the Wikipedia. The
Yeah.
Wikipedia said Malcolm X, but it's pretty ridiculous shit. It's like
Yeah.
he like the this Yakub guy. If you find pictures of him, maybe we'll edit it in. He's just like a Chad-looking black guy, like here, normal, and then his head is just expanded out about a foot in each
Uh,
direction. Anyway, he created white people, and somehow they got to the center of the earth. I didn't really look too far into
Kind
that,
of
but
sick.
yeah. So to get into like the origin of like why this is like a thing at all, like this hollow earth, is that if you look at essentially any mythology that has ever existed, so like Norse mythology has Helheim, Greek mythology has Hades, Roman mythology has forget actually.
Is it Aries?
What'd you say?
Are they Aries? That's got a water.
No, no, I can't remember, but it's I mean Roman mythology is just like a they just
Offshoot
stole it
of
from
Greek.
fucking Greece anyway.
Uh,
Um, so anyway, essentially any mythological uh you know um lore that you look into, they'll have some sort of underworld going on. So I think that it comes a lot from like just a mythological like why are all these people always thinking that there's something underground?
mhm.
And then there was in the 17th and 18th century, they didn't have like any sorry, one sec, we might have that might have to be cut.
I was thinking about your job. Just yep, this has to be cut.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how this is gonna make me lose my job.
Mhm.
This theory shit. Anyway, so there's essentially like a couple like whack jobs that are saying that the magnets didn't work right and compasses didn't really work.
Yeah,
So
the
they're
Earth
like,
magnetic field doesn't work.
yeah, because like
Yeah.
if you use a compass, like it'll like kind of do shit like this while going to the north, and then they're like, well, there must be a reason for that. So, I guess it means that the inside of the Earth is like a bunch of spheres that are like we're like basically like the Earth is a series of concentric spheres that are rotating around each other. So the outer crust is just the most outermost one, and then inside, as you go deeper, there's more and more, and then these are all habitable pieces of land.
I in just I, like every time I think about the magnet part, all I can imagine is just get some guy be like, my fucking compass isn't working. There must be like something in the middle of Earth, and it's just like his next door neighbor just has some giant magnet in his like barn, and the guy was like, "Fuck, what's the fucking problem with my compass?" It's something so stupid. It's something as dumb as that.
So yeah, and then we didn't have any of that like we didn't have like seismology or like we didn't know how magnets
Yeah.
work, and that was in the time when we were just like, oh, you feel sick, let's give you cocaine. And like we like science just wasn't real. Science
Yeah.
just was not real for like a hot minute there.
Yeah. Hey, you have the flu? I'm gonna put leeches all over your body and suck all the blood out.
Yeah, all the bad blood needs to come out of you as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. God, imagine living before antibiotics, how much it must have sucked ass.
What sucked ass?
Fucking living before antibiotics.
Yeah.
You get a paper cut and they're just like, "You're gonna fucking die, bro.
Yeah,
You're
sorry,
done."
just like
Yeah,
let's just bury you now. Get you
yeah.
out of the way. Anyway, so and that the guy who came up with that concentric sphere thing is Edmund Halley, like Halley's comet. That's like the
Oh.
guy who came up with the concentric hollow shell
See,
theory.
the problem with all these theories is, like, a scientist comes up with an idea, right? Doesn't have the ability to prove it or disprove it, but is like, he came up with something else that he was able to prove that made him famous, and then people are like they're like, "Yeah, well, I mean, Hollow Earth must be real. He fucking named a comet."
And there's like at this point in time, there's literally no way
Yeah.
to disprove like
Yes.
what this guy is talking
Yeah.
about. Like you can't like there's no data that can be found to
Yeah,
say that there's
he's the
nothing on
smartest
like
guy. He's the smartest guy in the world at that time, and then he's like, "There's people living in the middle of Earth." Just people are just like, "What?"
yeah, they're superhuman chads too.
Yeah,
They're also superhuman chads.
yeah. There's a black guy in the middle of Earth with a giant head producing Germans, and they're gonna come kill you all.
He's he's creating the Aryan race, which like if I looked into it and I like it doesn't make like sense. Like it doesn't like the apparently this Yakub guy created white people and they were so evil that the white people were able and so warlike that they were able to overpower black people and then basically put them as like the subservient race for however long. I think thousands of years. I don't know. I don't remember how far back this Yakub guy goes. But I don't know. It's interesting stuff. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
we are treading in dangerous territory.
I mean,
Of
we're
the,
saying we don't think it's real, or
no,
is
of
that a
course not.
problem?
No,
Should
no,
we think it's real?
no, 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 no. Well, there's a
Um,
couple people who we're gonna mention today who did think this was 100% real. So
yeah. So that Holly guy, I don't think he fully believed it. It was just a theory of his
yeah.
to like explain like the magnetic nonsense that was going on.
Mhm.
There's this next guy. His name is he has a stupid fucking name. His name is so fucking dumb. Where is it? Hold on. John Cleves Simmies Jr. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, to be honest, but um, so he basically just came up with the thought like, is the Earth hollow? And then nobody could like say like no, like
Yeah.
what we were just talking about. So then they were just like, all right, so yeah, it's hollow. Um, and he like really was super into it, and the polar like one of the whole things was that there were sailors that used to say that the north and south pole would have like warm currents and ice free like water like near like high altitudes, and then they would see animals that like they didn't like expect in those
Yeah.
areas. So his explanation for that was that the north pole opened and there was like they would like migrate out
Yeah,
of
over the
of
top.
the inner earth that was warm and had like all this shit or whatever. And honestly, I didn't even look into I should have looked into this, like what the reasonings are for
Yeah.
these sailors
Dude, I'm not
seeing
gonna
this stuff.
lie, as I saw pictures of this and, like, the things that people talked about, I wanna live in Hollow Earth so bad. It's so sick, dude. Imagine living on the inside of the Earth and it's fucking dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And then everybody's a superhuman. They probably are racist and would kill us though.
We're gonna get to that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I didn't really look into like the actual like Agartha stuff.
yeah,
I just kind of looked into like why this started, and then how like the modern day, like what's going on with it now. Um, yeah, so eventually like he just said like, yeah, like we'll one day, like once we have the technology, we'll, be able to explore like the North Pole and find the hole that goes into the earth, and then, you know, that'll just be it for us. Like we'll see. We'll see the inside. Um and then that's pretty much the gist of it. He was like giving out like pamphlets, and he was having public lectures, and he was lobbying Congress about it too. This guy and he like was reframing it as like the last unexplored place on the earth, which in those times was completely wrong, but that's
yeah.
kind of how it is. It really reminds me of have you ever seen the It's Always Sunny episode where
I don't
Mac
think so. No.
it there's like this episode where Mac is trying to disprove like the existence of science in favor of God, and he's like, science is dumb sometimes, and then he just gives a list of like all these people like Aristotle or whatever, and he's like, this guy was the smartest guy and he thought that the earth was flat,
Yeah,
and Isaac
kind of the
Newton
same
thought he
thing.
was cool, and then he drank mercury and killed himself. But anyway, you can take it away from there.
Yeah, so what lies in Hollow Earth is up to interpretation. So, depending on your favorite conspiracy theory, there are alien civilizations 10 times more advanced than humans, post-human, so beings who have gone past being Homo sapiens into some new life form. Some theories suggest like Admiral Byrd's secret diary that we'll get into. Prehistoric animals like dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, large massive bugs living in these lush jungles and forests. I think the most consistent theory for all of this is clearly that people who believe in Hollow Earth believe that the openings to Hollow Earth are either in the North Pole, the South Pole, or it is a full hollow, like all the way through to the other side. So it's never like there's never somewhere in the middle of the Earth that you can enter. You have to enter from either the top or the bottom.
Isn't there, I don't know if you're gonna get into this, but I swear there was some guy who claimed that he flew to the South Pole and then out through the middle of the Earth and then out of the North Pole.
I don't know. So I'll talk about Admiral Byrd at some point.
Mhm.
He's kind of it's kind of his thing, but we'll start off. It wouldn't be a World Wars history podcast if we don't talk about the Nazis. um, a lot of these theories with the Hollow Earth, especially in pop culture and like what has evolved today, are really focused on the Nazi obsession with the occult during World War II. How obsessed the Nazis were with the occult kind of seems to be exaggerated. You kind of have to we'll suspend our disbelief of like their total obsession, but there are absolutely documented cases and clearly people within the Nazi organization that cared about it. So uh, much of the Hollow Earth theories for the Nazis are actually somehow tied into the Nazi UFO theories. So um, during World War II, UFOs became really prevalent because Americans didn't Americans and the Allies really didn't know some of these, like, machines that the Germans were flying. Um, there's obviously, they ended up being mostly their planes and the Luftwaffe, but there are, like, these awesome photos online that will stitch into the video of these, like, crazy ideas of what these German planes looked like. Um, the earliest claims of Germany being involved with a extraterrestrial species goes all the way back to the 1870s in a book titled The Coming Race. The book focused on a society called the Vril Society. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, but it's VRIL, a secret society that worked with the Germans. So they lived underground, and you, as you would
They
guess,
were
or
mole people?
basically, yeah,
Okay.
they were originally, I believe they originally lived in Germany, and then through some sort of like calamity, they were forced underground for thousands of years. And in those thousands of years, they dealt with war, famine, and through the very the Germans' favorite way of dealing with societal problems, eugenics, they were able to surpass their human biology, and only the like strongest people in their society survived, and they were able to
The
tap into what
Vril?
they
Is that
named.
what you said? The Vril people?
I'm pronouncing it the Vril. It might be
Vril.
the Rill. The V might be silent, or the R might be
The
silent.
V might be Siren.
Sorry. um, but the remaining people were able to tap into uh the Vril force,
No, no,
which
that's
gave
not
them,
real. They
which
didn't
gave them.
actually come up with the Vril force.
Yes, they did. They had telekinesis. That is
Who
that is literally, we're literally talking about the fucking Jedi.
No,
Yes,
who
I
came up with
swear
the
to
Vril
God.
force? Like,
I
who
swear to God, it was called the Vril Force, and they had the Force like Jedi.
but who's the author that came up with this fucking
It's
bullshit?
some English guy.
Some
Um,
English guy?
yeah, it's actually an English guy that writes this called The Coming Race. Um,
Oh, so it's not a German, but he writes about Germany.
yeah, but it's so popular in Germany that they create like like they're in the 1900s. There's documented like people who joined the Vril Society, and it was like an organization dedicated to like finding the Vril people. We'll keep going because there's also some other German secret societies. So these post-human Vril people created mega structures beneath the Earth's surface, created the most advanced civilization on not on Earth, in Earth. Um, and in some of these like further adaptations of these people, they assisted the Atlanteans in building Atlantis, or at some points like other like versions of the story with these people is they were originally Atlanteans, and then when Atlantis sunk into the sea, they actually sunk further and down into Earth.
We gotta do an Atlantis
Dude,
video at some point,
my
dude. Because it's just like, why does everybody have such a why does everyone know about Atlantis, and why does everyone have a crazy obsession with Atlantis?
people, any society that disappears and there's not a trace of what happened to them, human beings are totally obsessed with. So this society obviously is sort of the main theory that like starts to weave throughout the Nazi occult theories. Uh, many books in the 1960s and 70s make these claims. So, The Morning of the Magicians by Lewis Palwell. This is actually the book that made like how we think about Nazi occultism mainstream. Like what made it mainstream is this book. It focuses heavily on the Vril, and then other books make the claims that the Vril, the Thule Society, which is a real occult
I've
society
heard of the
in
Thule. I
Nazi
don't
Germany
know
or
anything
in
about it,
Germany.
but
The Thule Society is an occult society that was like in the 1900s in Germany. They are actually the main funders of the German Workers Union, which would become the Nazi Party. So
mm.
that's like if you go that far back, I mean, we're getting into some serious
So are there
occult theories.
conspiracies about like how, like, occultists created the Nazis to try to take over the world,
Kind
basically?
of. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get into it. I was in such a deep rabbit hole that I was like, I could literally spend like 3 hours talking about this,
Well,
but
it's like well, it's once you get into the not once something touches on the Nazis, it's just like because
it's chaos.
everybody
It's
has
total chaos.
yeah, and everybody has theorized on it so much, especially with, like, the occult nonsense,
Yeah.
and, like, then there's just a million different, like, avenues for theories about, well, stuff I can't talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's also we have
Which is absurd, dude.
Yay come
I the
and
thing that
Mexican
I don't get it
Nazis.
I don't get it because, like, a lot of people that claim to be, like, super, like, American, like, they love America, blah, 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 like, like, they want they're hyper masculine. They're talking about how, like, fascism is, like, cool, and, like,
I
it's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, like, fuck it, like, get rid of all these people, like, blah, blah, blah. Um, but then it's just like a complete like, we fought them. Like, we decided, "Let's fight these guys and kill
yeah,
them,"
yeah, I know.
because I don't know.
They also hated America. So you can't be American, pro America and pro Nazi. They were opposed to each other. Anyway, the Vril, the Thule Society, and the Nazis apparently in a lot of these years they worked together in Hollow Earth and used bases to stage air attacks during the war. Which I'm not gonna lie to you, if any of this was true, how the fuck would the Nazis lose World War II if they had a secret alien uh financier that lived in Hollow Earth? How would they lose the war? Literally, how would they lose the war?
This is the Thule Society that lives
This is the Thule Society and the Nazis and the Vril Society all work together.
all working together.
Yes.
Okay. During World War II.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get even
What do the
more
Vril
crazy,
look like? Do they just look like humans?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're just humans that have the Force. They're Jedi.
Okay. Are they blonde with blue eyes? Like,
I don't know. The picture that I had that I saw of it almost looked like a Roman, like like a Greco-Roman painting, and I'm not gonna lie, it was the sickest photo ever. So I'm gonna tie it into the actual podcast.
okay.
Uh, in some stories, these real or are merely living on the innermost top layer of inner Earth, so right underneath the surface. And there are even more advanced races in the middle of Earth, some alien and some also post-human. There's at one point in the 1970s, a diplomat in Chile named Miguel Sereno was a devout follower of the Nazis. He claimed that Hitler would return again and launch an invasion on the surface through his secret underground base called New Swabia in Antarctica. So basically, he came up with Hitler as Jesus coming out of Hollow Earth was the claim there. Okay.
I just don't know where these people like come up with this
Well,
stuff.
it's all fiction books from the late 1800s and 1900s that get these people like obsessed with the idea, and then they just spin up that it's a true thing.
But
Um,
did the writers think it was real
no, because
or claim that it was real?
uh, you know how like fiction books are sometimes, or it's like they like blur their line between pretending it's fiction and like nonfiction.
Yeah.
Like they might claim it's real, but obviously made it up. Anyway, uh, so Admiral Byrd, uh, he is like one of the really big people in Hollow Earth. He's not. He himself is not like a Hollow Earth believer. It's just that people believe that Admiral Byrd, who was a U.S. Um, Navy admiral throughout like World War One and World War Two, who was the first person to fly across the North Pole and the South Pole. He had a secret lost diary, and in this theory, it suggests that during Admiral Byrd's Operation High Jump, he stumbled upon the opening of Hollow Earth in the Arctic and was transported into Hollow Earth, where he encountered mega structures and fauna, prehistoric animals, and met a lost civilization. Uh, that civilization is going to be Agartha, so I'm about to talk to that. But there's a lot wrong with this theory because Operation High Jump took place in Antarctica, uh, and people just like always get it wrong that he didn't take an Arctic expedition in the 1940s. He took a Antarctic expedition. And
Okay. Okay.
anyway, it's here that Bird visits the city of Agartha, and that's where we're gonna go. So the history of Agartha is incredibly complex. It's
How is it
it's
incredible?
all fiction. It's all fiction, but we're gonna
Okay.
get there. Uh, I'm
Like,
gonna get
it's
to
incredibly complex, like The Lord of the Rings is like
yes, yeah,
Middle
and I'm
Earth?
gonna get so much of this I'm gonna get wrong. So if you're like really into Agartha, just bear with me.
If you're a huge Agartha
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
like, or gal, just
yeah.
don't get mad.
But the origins of this story seem to be in another book in the 1870s, actually a few years before the Vril Society book, um, written by a French writer named Louis Jacolet. Here, Louis describes the ancient city of Asgarthia and its rise and fall. He claims he got this information from a 15,000-year-old Indian manuscript. Uh, his original story does not claim that Agartha is underground. This is later expanded upon by other French writers who want to capitalize on the popularity of Asgartha. So, Asgartha, the main thing is it's like apparently the lost capital city of India. And this guy Louis claims like, oh, I found these 15,000-year-old manuscripts. I know everything about it. I know where it is. Um, his book was like immensely popular. It's really popular at the same time that the Coming Race is the English book about the Vril is also popular. People were just like
So
obsessed.
lots of people were talking about underground.
Yeah, people back then fiction the big thing in fiction was just like missing societies, secret societies, um, secret civilizations. It was just like something people were into. And
Yeah,
then
it's like how we were into zombies for a while, and then we were
oh,
into
forever.
superheroes
Yeah.
for a while, and then yeah.
Yeah, but the thing though is that a lot of these authors like claim that they have secret knowledge and they claim it's real because that's how they make money. That's how they keep getting readers.
It's like, it's like what people do now where they rage bait. Not rage bait. What am I looking for?
Like writer? Are you talking about what
Like
writers do?
marketing ploys. Like, I don't even it's like it was like a marketing ploy.
Yeah. I mean, now the only people who write fake books about these are fake Navy SEALs who claim they shot Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, yeah. How many authors should I look that up right now?
There's multiple books on different guys, I think, claiming they shot Osama bin
How
Laden.
many
And the guy
people
that says he did, almost every SEAL is like, no, he didn't.
Oh, I'm only seeing 2 right now.
But it's competing stories, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
2 I'm seeing 2 competing stories about shooting and killing bin Laden.
um, so are you ready for this story to get even more wacky?
Yes.
Okay. So later French writers claim that Agartha actually exists now in the inner earth and that you can access it by being able to astral project into inner earth and
Cool.
go
That's cool as shit.
um so again, Agartha, it's this like legendary kingdom that is said to be located on the inner surface of Earth. Um, Multiple kings typically rule Agartha, and the main thing is that they influence events on the surface world. Um, in his book, it is said to be located somewhere underneath Central Asia or Tibet or the Himalayas. But if you're ready for some of the stupidest shit, variations of the story have different hidden entrances. So you can either enter through the Great Pyramid of Giza, obviously the Earth's poles, Gobi Desert, uh, or in Kentucky.
No,
Yeah,
no.
whatever that that crazy cave system in Kentucky. Okay, I can't remember what it's called. Look it up real quick.
What am I
The cave
looking up?
system. It's the insane cave system in Kentucky. Apparently, the theory
Oh,
is that it goes deep enough to get you to
Mammoth Cave National Park?
yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
So Mammoth Cave. The problem with any of these conspiracy theories,
Wait, who wrote this? Who wrote
these
this?
are just different authors,
Okay.
different conspiracy theories. Um, anytime that like any like landmass in America is involved in a conspiracy theory and like some like occult stuff, to me it just falls apart. Like I can never imagine like anything with Jesus or anything of him coming back in like Ohio or like
No,
or
no,
Kentucky
I
or
don't.
Indiana. Like it immediately falls apart. It's not. It's like too new worldish. It's not.
It just
Uh,
doesn't. It's funny though because it would kind of make more sense if some of that stuff like involved the new
yeah,
world.
the landmass. But
Yeah.
it like my head can't get away from people being like, yeah, where modern day Ohio is. I would just be like, you lost
Yeah,
me.
no, it doesn't make any sense, but,
Yeah,
like, I don't there's something about it where it's just, like, they obviously, if it was made by some writer who didn't know about I'm talking about previous to, like, 1492 or whatever,
yeah,
where they were talking about it, and, like, they obviously wouldn't mention the Americas, but, like, secret societies that are, like, astral
yeah. Of
projecting and
course.
shit, you would think that they would know
Yeah, they would
about
know
the
that America
Americas.
exists. If they've
Uh,
been to fucking inner Earth, they know America exists.
yeah.
All right. So back to the Nazis. Hollow Earth and the Germans go together like peanut butter and jelly. I swear to God. Um, I think you're going to talk about this, but Himmler believed was a huge, huge proponent of Agartha. Um, so he believes, like you mentioned, the ancient Aryan master race existed. Often he connects it to Atlantis. And he believes the same thing. A cataclysm caused the survivors to go underground deep in the Himalayas. And that's where Aryans lived for thousands and thousands of years and then came to the surface world and inhabited Europe.
Is there
Um,
any source that confirms that he actually believed that?
yes, because where we're going to go in 1935, Himmler established the Anrebe, the Bureau of Ancestral Heritage, a specialized
Okay.
SS unit dedicated to finding archaeological, anthropological, and occult evidence to prove, of course, that the Germans are the superior race. The Germans go to Tibet specifically in the 1930s, maybe 1939, 1940, and motivated to search for the Aryan race and look for Agartha. But that's Himmler's favorite theory, and that's what people on TikTok are really, really focusing on now. So if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, okay, so what's going on with, like, I think there's 2 different like, I don't know how many people legitimately believe any of this shit. Like, I
Not
don't know. I don't think there's a lot, but, like, now, like, with what's going on, like, with TikTok and Instagram, and there's a lot of, like, absurdist humor. And it's just, like, absurdist humor in, like, the sense that, like, any of that brain rot shit that it's just, like, you see it
yeah.
and it's like, "This makes so little sense that it's funny."
Mhm.
And then then some people are latching on to this idea of, like, Agartha and, like, Hollow Earth theory, and they don't know any of the shit that we just talked
No.
about. They don't know a
Yeah.
single thing about any of that. They don't know that the Nazis were really involved. They're just posting, like, ridiculous stuff about, like, "Oh, like, Hollow Earth, it's here, and it's Agartha," and then the super blonde Chads are around, and I think it also goes hand in hand, like, with the, like, resurgence of, like, Nazism, like, in the United States, like, these blonde, like, Aryan
Yeah.
people, like or not even, the United States, like, in the Western world in general, um
I I I'm gonna take back what I said. I do think a lot of people are dumb enough to believe this is real, and there are so many people who get all of their information from, like, the short videos either on YouTube or on TikTok or on X, and, like, no critical thinking goes into anything they actually believe or think about. So there are definitely some people who are getting fucking mind melded by this shit and being like, "Agartha's real. I believe in Agartha. I'm gonna get to the Hollow Earth." Oh, one thing I didn't mention, which is like integral to the theories on why a lot of people still believe it, is um like obviously there is some restrictions around
Yeah.
going to Antarctica. You
Yeah.
can't just go to Antarctica. And so the idea is that like the world order, whatever have you, the global elites are like stopping you from being able to enter Hollow Earth, and like they're using all the resources for themselves and like they're influencing the world with all of the technology and stuff they get from the Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that there's theories about Antarctica in general because it's like a lot of people are like,
Yeah,
what's going on there? Like, why? Like, because
it's
there's
still essentially an undiscovered landmass.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's I mean, it's just a massive frozen chunk of ice,
Yeah,
but you like, there's a lot of scientific like, studies and research that goes on there that, like, people are like, like, the layman like you or me or anyone else is like, "Why the fuck are they studying ice?" Like, I don't know. I don't know why they're studying ice. But I'm sure that there's, like, a solid reason probably to do with, like, magnetic
yeah.
nonsense and
Well,
uh
the magnetic can't the magnetic poles actually shift?
say again?
Can't the magnetic poles, like, in Antarctica and in the Arctic, can't they actually shift?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, again, now we sound like the fucking TikTokers. We don't know
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how the North and South Pole work. I have
No.
no idea.
Well,
I
I mean, I do know how they work right now. That's where you go if you wanna get to Agartha, and they're stopping us from getting there.
Well, yeah, they're obviously stopping us from getting because there's military presence there. There's
Yeah.
always a military presence in
Well, that's where they
Antarctica.
get all their high-tech gear.
Exactly. That's where they
Mhm.
keep all that, and that's where they're doing all the,
Experiments.
that's where Epstein sent all the children.
Yes.
He
They
was
went
sending all
there
the
and
children, to Antarctica so that they could sacrifice them there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was. The
Um
island was just a quick pit stop, and they were on their way to Antarctica.
And then there's like, by the way, these like there's like image like there's the a bunch of like different imagery and like hopefully we'll put it up on the screen, but there's like
Yeah, Elon Musk.
I wasn't
Where
gonna talk about I wasn't even talking about that shit. But yeah, like the Elon Musk thing. Like
uh,
it's just like absurd stuff. Like there's the Kirkified, like Agarthans
yeah,
and
yeah,
like stuff like
yeah.
that. Um, but, no, like, there's, like, all like, because of all those books that were written about, like, Agartha and the Vril and, whatever, there's a lot of, like, art that goes along with it, like, there's
Uh-huh.
ice maps and, like, the diagrams of Agartha and, like, there's the random Nazi, like, occult, like, imagery that it doesn't matter, you could just slap it on and edit, like, if you're just saying stuff and then you're like, "Look at this."
Yeah, yeah. Like,
There's
this proves
nobody's
it.
gonna fact
This
check
painting
you.
proves it.
No one's gonna fact check you on that. No
No.
one's gonna look it up. Um,
You and I, for real, we can make so much money just running a fake, like, Agartha real like, truther account.
we could just like you could just make up whatever, especially with
Yeah,
AI. You don't even have to be talented.
yeah.
You
You
don't
can just
like
have
you could just create
the AI
imagery
talk to me and be like, "Fucking look at this photo of Agartha. It's clearly real."
with the fake whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's pretty much like I mean, that's like kind of the gist. Like now it's just a lot of people are trying to find like I think it comes from just a lot of people don't have like answers in the real world for like what's going on around them. So they just try to find it's like with the whole flat earth thing, like a lot of people's argument for it is like that the world is like special. Like
Yeah.
they want to believe that earth is special and that's like part of it. And I think that that's just like kind of what it is. It's just people like trying to fantastically like imagine that there are more important things out there than us just being like a ball in
Of
space
course.
hurtling.
Yeah. I do kinda like that Hollow Earth people have to, like, by their very nature of what they believe in, are the complete opposite of Flat Earth. Like, they
Yeah.
have to stand against each other. They are honestly, the Hollow Earth people are kind of on our side to go against the Flat Earthers.
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
It's they're like opposite sides of the spectrum, but equally as dumb. L
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
but I don't there's, like, a serious amount of people that believe the flat earth stuff. I have met one person in real life who did believe in the hollow earth, like, theories, and then he, like, tried to, like, convince me. This was years ago. He was a lifeguard at a beach.
He wasn't a yo, you're telling me he wasn't a fucking scientist? I'm
No, he
shocked.
wasn't. No, he was not. He was not a
No.
seismologist?
Yeah.
Is that be one
Half
of
the
the
people
people that
that
would be
believe in this
interested?
shit work at, like, either Starbucks or, like, retail stocking shelves.
Yeah.
It's rare that they have a real job.
And another thing about, like the Hollow Earth stuff is that, um, it it's different than a lot of other theories in the sense that, like, it's not, like, apocalyptic or bad
No.
or, like, I mean, like, these usually it's a lot of, like, oh, there's a lot of hidden beauty, like, underground, like, not it's never, like, demons or, like, evil.
Yeah, the weirdest thing in this theory is that the Hollow Earth is like paradise. It's a utopia.
Yeah, yeah, so it's like it's kinda like it's just like a romantic, like, thought
Yeah.
that exists, which is really different from, like, 90% of conspiracies because most of them are just like, the world's run by pedophile vampires, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is a lot of these theories also the Nazis and pedophile elites work with the people of of Hollow Earth to suppress, the surface world, so there is that problem as well. But
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
really pretty on the other side. Even they're doing all that bad shit, there's really cool buildings and plant life and waterfalls.
And
So,
dinosaurs. Yeah. But I mean, that's pretty much all I have for the, um, like, what's going on, like, in the modern world when it comes to that. Like,
yeah,
it's just a lot of brain rot, like, algorithm culture. Like, that's all it's become. Like, it's not anything real.
yeah, it's just stupid shit.
Mhm.
Well, pretty good episode. I hope people really enjoyed learning about Agartha and Hollow Earth and why they keep getting it recommended to them on their For You pages. Um, hopefully, we see you guys in the next episode. Jake, you got any final thoughts?
No, but everyone should look up, the Nation of Islam because it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
It
and look up all the pictures if we don't add them.
No, we'll add them. 'em. We'll add the
Yeah.
pictures.
All right, guys. See you later.